oh, oh. And if you put a smile on your face, it'll feel even better. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. Amen. We are family. We're here all together, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love grow. We are family, we're here all together, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. And we carry this love, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. And we carry this love, yes we do. And we carry this love everywhere that we go. Good job, everybody. Good job, everybody. David, this is a song that you and I wrote a few years back. I am the reason, I am the season. Yes, I am a light in this world. I am a light in this world. Yes, I am a light in this world. Sing with me if you will. I am the reason, I am the season. Yes, I am a light in this world. I am a light in this world. Yes, I am a light in this world. You are the reason, you are the season. Yes, you are a light in this world. You are a light in this world. Yes, you are a light in this world. We are the reason, look around the room now. We are the season, yes, we are light in this world. We are a light in this world. That's right. Yes, we are a light in this world. We are a light in this world. We are a light in this world. Welcome home, everybody.
Good afternoon, SLCA. Oh, it's so good to see everybody here. I got lots to say. First of all, I want to welcome all to our home, to SLCA. I have a very special guest, Reverend Dr. David Ault. Yes, yes. And I'll tell you a little bit more about him later. Well, he's a really special guy. Who's that smart Alec? Which one? Where? It has to be Ellen, of all people. Anyone, welcome. I'm Reverend Jean Bell. My pronouns are she and her, and I serve as the associate minister here. If you're viewing on Facebook or YouTube Live, please like and share this broadcast so we can continue to spread the good news of New Thought and Science of Mind out into the world. If this is your first time visiting here, please see a welcome team member out in the lobby for a gift, especially for you. Yes. It's a sacred season. That's our theme of the month. And so many people around the world are celebrating. They're celebrating so many different things. In fact, this past Monday, Buddhists around the world celebrated Bodhi Day, where they commemorate the day that the Buddha experienced enlightenment. And we're in the midst of a Advent season where Christians all over the world are celebrating and anticipating that wonderful day of Christmas. And then we have our Jewish communities around the world who will be celebrating Hanukkah and the Festival of Lights. Let's keep them in our hearts because they have experienced a horrific event in Sydney, where many people died because of a terrorist attack. We also had one here in our own country at Brown University. So let's keep them also in our hearts and minds. Let's lift them up, not just in prayer, but with our energy, with whatever sacred action that we can think to do that's in alignment with our principles. So let's just keep them in our divine light. So whatever you celebrate and however you celebrate, right, remember, we are the reason that makes those seasons sacred. We are the ones that put that sacredness in all things because we are the divine light in all things. So I'm going to read our monthly affirmation. I'm going to read it all the way through, and then I'm going to invite you to say it in one voice with me. Are you ready? Yes. All right, let's listen. I recognize that my life is sacred, and my consciousness grows as I become aware of the divine I am within. The sacred season is always in this now moment, and I am inspired to love, respect, and honor all of creation. Through acts of compassion, sacred service, and steadfast commitment to our Science of Mind principles, I freely and joyously allow my inner light of love to shine out into the world. All right, let's say that together in one voice. I recognize that my life is sacred, and my consciousness grows as I become aware of the divine I am within. The sacred season is always in this now moment, and I am inspired to love, respect, and honor all of creation. Through acts of compassion, sacred service, and steadfast commitment to our Science of Mind principles, I freely and joyously allow my inner light of love to shine out into the world. And so it is. Awesome. You know, I'm going to have a few announcements. Next Sunday is December 21st, and it will be our Practitioner Sunday. The practitioners will perform all of the music, including the message. And they are stoked. They're going to be rehearsing this afternoon, and it's going to be wonderful. So I hope you come back to join us for that. On Wednesday, December the 24th, Christmas Eve, our host community, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, invites us all to attend one of their 2 Christmas Eve services. One will be at 5 p.m. and the other will be at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss that. It's always a good time. And on Sunday, December 28th, will be our annual Burning Bowl and White Stone service. And this is a sacred time for our community where we get to reflect on what we want to release and perhaps who we want to release. Just saying. And what new intentions we want to set in our lives as we move forward into the new year. All right, I'm so glad that you are here today. See you in a minute.
Open your mind, unfold your heart, relax your senses, feel every part. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound, unbound. Breathe every breath. Release your cringe. Love without waiting, without waiting. Slowly unhinge. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down, go deeper still until you come unwound, unbound.
Let's take a breath and know. What I know is that there is only one power, one presence, one absolute cause throughout the universe. That presence is always with me in every moment, in every second, in my time of need, and also there in my time of joy. It is this presence that I turn to whenever I seek guidance. It is the same presence I turn to when I'm having my most excited moment. As I think about this sacred season, when I gather with my friends, my family, what I know is that the love I feel for each and every one is the same love that I receive, that I feel from that one presence, that infinite power that is always beckoning me forward, always there for me, always saying, I'm here with you. So as I drop into that space, as I open up into that love, that joy, that peace, it brings me to a place of calmness and allows the love to flow through me, as me, for me. And I'm so grateful to be able to recognize this, make use of it, and know it is there for me every moment I need it. As I take in that breath, knowing that God is even in that breath, what I know is all is well and all is good. If you're in agreement with this, please say with me, and so it is.
You can't stop waiting for love to find you. Look inside your heart. Love's already who you are. So lift up your voice. Let it be heard. Tell me your story, tell it to me. Don't leave out a word. 'Cause I think I have been there too, and I'm a seeker just like you. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down, go deeper still, till you come unwound, unbound. Thank you, Tony. Welcome, Koku Bui.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I wanted to introduce you to Koku Bui. She has provided voiceover services for schools, churches, and children's author book reads aloud. Her voiceover and on-screen work was featured in a 2024 instructional educational short film that won a Southeast Emmy Award. Yes. She graduated with honors from North Carolina Central, majoring in theater and with concentrations in performance and education. As a performer in Metro Atlanta, she's presented 2 very popular one-woman shows performing as the Ruby Bridges and Mary McLeod Bethune. She's also written several educational programs and performed them across school districts supporting science and language arts curriculum. As a featured storyteller, she has written and performed with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra and performs regularly for major venues, including the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site, the Atlanta History Center, and the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, the Atlanta Children's Museum, and many schools and community venues. As an educator,
I did not give her all that. She
artist,
just showed-
storyteller, and writer for 30 years, she once served as the official storyteller for the National Black Arts Festival and Coretta Scott King Book Awards Festival. Please welcome Coco Bowie. Yeah. Our friend, welcome home, Coco.
I've been here. I've been around a long time, so I should have done a little bit of something, something.
And she has a couple of great books out there. And
Yes, I have books. Just one book today. I have 2 books, but one today, Little Black Fairy and Other Very Fairy Stories, Poems, Rhythms, and Rhymes. I know, that's just who I am. And I get to share a little story and song today with you, so I'm really thankful for the opportunity. My latest book, Little Black Fairy. It features black fairies, but I think you'll find as you flip through the pages, if you flip through the pages, you'll see that it's pretty inclusive, you know. And this is one of my favorites, Zenith. Zenith is a fairy, born with very tiny wings. They simply never, ever grew. She called them useless things. She could not fly or flit around like the other fairies did. She only looked up from the ground. Sometimes she even hid away from all her fairy friends who seemed so joyful in flight. Why can't I be like the others? She'd cry to herself at night. Till one day, a small voice said to Zenith, "Stop saying what you cannot do. It's all the great things that you can do, Zenith, that other fairies wish they could do too." Zenith thought for a very long second. The voice was exactly right. She had abilities, gifts, and awesome talents that had nothing to do with flight. She could create and make the most beautiful things using her own 2 hands. "How did you make that?" other fairies would ask. "It comes natural. I just start, and I can." Zenith also loves reading to all of the littles. Those are fairies that haven't started school. She writes, she sings, flies kites, and makes rings. Zenith's creativity is amazing and cool. So Zenith is a fairy that cannot fly. She says her wings are lovely just being there. No, they don't fly her, but she stopped complaining. Besides, a bird can take Zenith anywhere. Now, sometimes she wonders, occasionally she imagines how flying on her own would be. But she wouldn't trade her talents for 1,000,000 days in the air. Now Zenith says, "I'm grateful to be me." Thank you. I'm not gone yet. I'm coming back. Y'all go be there. I'd like to thank Emily Sunday for this song and for you, Rick, for requesting it. I've got air beneath my wings. I think this time I'm gonna make it to morning. I've got strength inside my heart. This time I'm gonna sing for all the heroes who've fallen. I'm gonna take the long way home. I'm gonna take this world by storm. We've got magic in our bones, just like the stars. We're gonna shine bright and golden. We're gonna bang down all the doors, make sure we take back all the things that were stolen. Oh, we're gonna take the long way home. We're gonna take this world by storm. See, with the heart of a sparrow, tell me what arrow could bring you down. Yes, your escape, it was narrow, but what a gift, the courage you found. Oh, with the heart of a sparrow, tell me what arrow could bring you down. Yeah. Oh, your escape, it was narrow, but what a gift, the courage you found. I got stars within my soul. I think the dust will finally settle. Pure as rivers, strong as mountains, we spread love like the flowers give petals. We're gonna take the long way home. Yeah, we're gonna take the whole world by storm. We're gonna take the long way home. We're gonna take this world by storm. We're gonna take this world by storm.
Kokabui!
Now you want me to drag this big old thing back over here by myself? I mean, really? No, he's gonna do it. Thank you. I mean, I'm strong and all, but dang. Thank you, darling. Oh my God, I love that song so much. I really, really do. And I asked Koku to sing that. Because sometimes we do take the long way home, don't we? We're always on this wonderful journey in this thing called life. And I know that I have a heart of a sparrow. And I've had many arrows shot at me. But it's not about me right now. It's about Reverend Dr. David Ault. Look, you have to give me grace with that. I've only been saying that for like 7 years now. I'm really excited that you're a guest speaker today. When I asked him to come speak, he said yes immediately. You see, he saved me. He saved me because I was on the verge of my practitioner license expiring. And he said, come come on this retreat, this horrible retreat. And it was horrible. You remember that? It was a horrible retreat. He said, let us get to know you. And after the retreat, I slid up next to him. I said, so, can I be one of your practitioners? He says, where's the paperwork? And he signed it. And for that, I am so grateful. I had 1 month to go, and I would have had to take all the classes all over again. Can you imagine? This man was the former senior minister of the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta from 2010 to 2018, right? He is the founder and executive director of the Kaleidoscope Child Foundation. And if you don't know about that, please see him afterwards. I know many of you support that as well as I do. He is also the co-founder of Nandidas. Please ask him about these wonderful foundations that he's a part of. You see, Reverend David believes at the heart of science of mind, and truly at the heart of every wisdom tradition that points towards the same place, that there is no other, no real limitation, nothing that can separate us from the source we all rise from. The invitation is to walk the path, and it is always ours to accept that invitation. David has found that whether the doorway is science of mind, the wisdom of Hindu sadhus, the discipline of Buddhism, the teaching of Jesus or Muhammad, the remembrance of the Atman, the presence of the Buddha, or the stillness of meditation, it is all pointing to the same truth. Your worth and inner freedom are not determined by anything outside of you. David's hope is simply to share a little time and remembrance of that divine truth with you today. So please join me in welcoming home Reverend Dr. David Ault.
I love you so much.
I always like to take a moment and just look around. Hey, Terry. Hey, Alexa. Jennifer. Oh, my God. Tom. So Eddie Murphy made this movie in the 90s, and it was called The Holy Man. And in film production, there's this thing called a dolly shot, where they put the track and then they run the camera around, and it looks as though the camera is following the actor while the actor is speaking directly into the lens. And there is this little tiny monologue from The Holy Man that Eddie Murphy says, and it's this: 75 years. That's how much time you get if you're lucky. 75 years. 75 winters, 75 springtimes, 75 summers, and 75 autumns. When you look at it like that, it's not a lot of time, is it? Don't waste them. Get your head out of the rat race and forget about the superficial things that preoccupy your existence and get back to what's important now, right now, this very second. And I'm not saying drop everything and let the world come to a grinding halt. I'm saying that you could become a seeker. You could be loving more. You could be taking some chances. You could be living more. You could be spending more time with your family. You could be getting in touch with the part of you that lives instead of fears, the part of you that loves instead of hates, and the part of you that recognizes the humanity in all of us. Thus saith the saint Eddie Murphy. So little things like that, I like to think of them as conscientious disruptors. So the moment that you're watching this film and you're just being entertained, there's something about the way that thing is directed that you begin to kind of sit up a little bit and you take it personally and you go, ooh. Now, some of you have already championed and gone way past the 75 marker. Hello. And there are some that are close to it. And what I have discovered is that we don't necessarily equate or align what we would call wisdom with age. Because if you remember, we had this guy here, this beautiful guy here in our congregation many years ago named Japhon. And Japhon used to sit on the front row. And Japhon used to come to church with a notepad, and he would take copious notes Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. And he would ask to speak to me, and he would have questions. And there was a hunger there. He wasn't thinking about, I have 75 autumns and 75 springtimes and 75 summers to get this right. He was compelled in that moment, there was a hunger in that moment to take what it is that we have all said in a recitation form, regurgitated from former teachers. He was taking that and bringing a now moment to it because it spoke to him in some way. And thank God I paid attention. And I go, yeah, what do you want to know? And we would talk about it. And if you hear during that time, I began to let him speak. Because, my God, wisdom isn't confined by age, it's confined by attention. Wisdom is appropriated and joined next to an intentionality and a purity to begin to unravel and unbind, I will call identity and excuse and all the other freight and weight that we carry with us that becomes customary to our personality and our identity, our story. I never saw that with him. What I saw was this hunger and this light, and it was like, oh my God, yes. And when he went on to soar and do his unique work in the world, there was nothing more joyous in my ministerial heart than to have had the experience of someone like that. And he wasn't 75 or older. He was in his 20s. And so I want you to hear that wisdom isn't equated with age. It's equated to what? It's equated to an openness. It's equated to what I like to call attention. And the conscientious disruptions that come. You know that Jesus, the master teacher, was a conscientious disruptor. All these other wisdom sages and these people that bring this sort of provocation to you, even little monologues in a movie like that, are conscientious disruptors that go, I wonder how many summers and autumns and winters I have left. Christmas is in a few weeks. I wonder if this is going to be one of our last Christmases. I wonder how much more time I have left in this human incarnation, in this costume, in this skin suit. And if I really conscientiously disrupt my mundane, day-to-day, unconscious, rote living patterns, and I feel that and I sit with that, I go, what changes are being required of me? And you could say, if we begin to sink into that and sit front row with our notebook and go, what is it that you want me to know? Sit front row into the eternal voice and wisdom that is speaking to us 24/7, not just on a Sunday, and go, I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. You know what? I'm tired. I'm so tired of trying to uphold this identity and this belief system that has been handed down to me that I have accepted. I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to bring together and integrate something that is telling me that everything is whole, complete, and perfect, and yet in many ways I'm doing this. I'm going, yeah, tell me more. And I'm like, no. Because it's this that is married to what I call our identity. And it was that, the tiring of that, the tug of war of that, which is actually a beautiful thing. Because you know what this promotes? Suffering. And you know what's beautiful about suffering? Ram Dass used to say, suffering is grace. Because what suffering does, if you're paying attention and sitting on the front row of your life, taking notes, is that it propels change. And that's the beauty of suffering. Suffering meaning an identification with separation. Identifying with the labels that you have so become ingrained with. And so when I began to look at that for myself, and I began to explore for myself and sort of start at ground zero all over again, what would it be like to begin to unravel myself from my identity? What would it be like to begin to untangle and unbind myself from what I thought was certainty in order to be an open canvas? Years and years ago, I read Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. And there was a part in that book repetitively that talks about this sadhu called Babaji and Babaji's cave. And if you know anything about Yogananda and you follow the lineage, there was a man, there was Yukteswar, and then there was Lahiri. And Lahiri was a man who worked for the Indian Railroad. And he was in the Himalayas because that's where the railroad had assigned him. And he was there to take all of these metrics and to do all of this work. And he was out walking in the mountains and in the woods. And one day he heard a man call him by name. Who do I know that lives here? And it was this sadhu, according to this tradition, named Babaji. And Babaji took him to this cave in the Himalayas and taught him something called Kriya Yoga, which is a breathing technique which brings into alignment the science of mind teaching, that everything is one. Jesus saying, I am the Father are one. Ernest Holmes saying in my favorite Ernest Holmes book, which is Creative Mind and Success, he says the same thing, and he says, the thing we are is seeking the thing that we are. And Babaji says, come, sit into the cave. And he teaches them this technique. And what Lahiri experiences is that unification of the one. And he says to Lahiri, now go and teach this to other people. He didn't say, Lahiri, go up and give your train job. He goes, go and be a householder, take care of your family, and at the same time, begin to disassociate the fact that you are just Lahiri, that now you are a part of the one. And so Lahiri did that, and he went to a man named Yukteswar, and he taught Yukteswar Kriya Yoga, and then Yukteswar taught Paramahansa Yogananda. And he said to Yogananda, you will take this message to the West, and it will be the first time that there is an invitation for this type of yoga to be introduced into the Western world. Yoga meaning the union of the one. So Yogananda comes over, makes a big name of himself, writes this incredible book, and it's considered one of the top 5 classic spiritual books of all time. Little David gets a hold of that and goes, oh, I want to go to that cave. I want to experience what Lahiri experienced. Years go by, and if you know me now, I've been going to India pretty much regularly for 8 years, 9 years. Never had the chance because it's way, way, way up there. And in January of this year, I finally made it happen. And we had completed a 45-day film shoot for the documentary of Kaleidoscope Child. I finally got everybody home. Thank you. And I felt like a freight train had hit me. And I went to the Himalayas to stay with some friends of ours at their homestay, and they helped me find a driver to take me all the way up into the mountains where I was going to have to hike a whole day to get to Babaji's cave. Daddy's tired, but boy, I'm wanting to do it. And we go, and I get this sweet young Indian guy who plays Justin Bieber on the radio for 4.5 hours into the Himalayas because that's the way he's likes to learn English. And I'm like, we could talk. But we get there, and it's night, and so I have to spend the night at a yoga ashram place nearby, and then I have to get up before sunrise, and he's going to walk with me because I don't know what I'm doing. And we start. And we get there, and my mind is filled with pictures of expectations. Have your mind ever been filled with pictures of expectations? Like, oh my God, I'm going to Babaji's cave. Oh my God. And we finally get there after many stops. And he goes, wow, in his broken English. Usually there's a crowd, and you have to wait a long time to get your few minutes in the cave before they escort you out. And he goes, no one's here. You can have as long as you want. And I'm like, yes. And at first he comes in with me, and I adjust myself, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in Babaji's cave. And I'm touching the cold stone because it's cold. And then he gets bored and he leaves, and I go, yes. And there I am, and I'm like, zap me. I am so ready for this. And the message was, you already know what I'm going to tell you. You already know what to do, David. And I'm like, what? Like, all innocent. What? You already know what to do, David. You already know that the message is oneness, and there's no caveat. There's no special compensation. You know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take those that you hold the grievance to. Ram Dass told you what to do. Famous story about Ram Dass. He hated Caspar Weinberger. The Department of Defense hated him so much that it tore him up inside because he said, how can I be a spiritual teacher and loathe a human being so much? That he had to print a picture of Caspar Weinberger and put Caspar on his altar next to Jesus and his guru, Maharaji, and Anandama, and Krishna, and Shiva, and Buddha, and Jesus. And every morning as he would come for puja, he would go, good morning, Buddha. Good morning, Jesus. Hello, Caspar. In the cave, it's like, you already know what to do. I told you. And I went, oh, really? So I call my husband, Jairam, and I go, we got to print some pictures. He worked for the CDC for 23 years. It's not there anymore. Lots of pictures to print. Altar's getting a little crowded. Puja's getting a little bit longer in the morning. We invite a bunch of people that come over once a month, and we said, hey, here's some pictures if you would like to take them. We explain the whole process. We sing about it. We're all in agreement that everything is one, and then I go, there's the pictures. They just keep walking for the door. CVS made a killing off of us because we printed so many thinking that everybody would go, yes, I need this. In the cave, you already know what to do. Today, you already know what to do. So, as I look at that conscientious disruption, I thought, make me a disruptor. Make me the most appropriate disruption for this moment in time. And so here's what came. Do you remember the little thing of rubbing your belly and patting your head? I was going to master that for you this Sunday, and I just didn't get there. I kept trying. I was going to rub my belly and pat my head. And no matter what I try to do as I'm doing that, they keep syncing up again. And so I looked at that and I thought, oh my God, that's spirituality. That's this message of non-duality. Each action feels as though it's competing towards one another, because our nervous system is built to not like split rhythms. It's built to not like split rhythms. And so what are the competing things, the apparent competing things? One is who we are. So I am David, born in Texas, last of 5 children, yada, yada, yada. All of the identifications, culture, religion, education. We're going to call that Channel 1. On Channel 1, Tony, didn't you used to work at Ruth Chris Steakhouse? See, look at me, I remember that. So Tony was studying to get your license as a therapist while you were working at Ruth Chris, while you were taking practitioner class. That's all information that's on Channel 1. Lexa, realtor, all the other things. Origin from Poland. All of that is Channel 1. Your family, your dynamics, your brothers, your sisters, all the things, all the labels, and all the identities. That is Channel 1. In a multi-dimensional experience, there are infinite channels, far more than you get through Xfinity. There's not a cable box that can hold how many channels of reality is going on there. But for now, you and I are experiencing right now Channel 1. We know each other from different sources, different activities, different memories. We're all labeling, defining ourselves like that. And so here's where the suffering comes in. If you think that this is all that you are, then you have begun to identify yourself and your thoughts as real. And it's not that it's not real, it's relatively real. In Science of Mind language, we talk about the relative and the absolute. The relative is what? The relative is finite. The relative is human. The relative is all of the things that are happening ancestrally, psychologically, economically on Channel 1. And that is relative. We are not making it wrong. We are not dismissing it. We are not even labeling it as less than, because it is real, and it is the thing that you and I are experiencing in real human time, or the construct of time. And so it's relative, and it matters, and there are laws. There are these human man-made laws that are flawed, but there are also spiritual laws, lawful causation, that are happening and are real in Channel 1. Do you understand? So in Channel 1, if I'm so sequestered and veiled into locking into my identity and believing that this is the totality of what I am, and by believing that this is the totality of what I am, I begin to build systems of preserving, protecting, guarding, and that becomes my world. And how dare anyone come and tell me that this world is not real? Or how dare anyone come and give me a non-dual language and say, God is all that there is. If I'm suffering in channel 1 and I walk into a place like this and I hear that, there's going to be something appealing about that because I do want to be relieved of my suffering. But I'm only going to last so long in that tribe, in that community, in that study, in that focus, because at some point, the message is going to say, you already know what to do. You're going to have to begin to untangle your allegiance from your identity. Do you know how hard it was for me to preserve my identity? I have business cards made. It lists my woundings on there. I have crafted an entire identity around my story. You're right. No one's making you wrong about that. But here's where rubbing your belly and patting your head comes in. Can you do two things at once? No one is asking you to deny or to diminish your channel 1 identity. In fact, given that there is a lawful component here, it's saying, run with it. Oh my God. If you love to paint, go be the best painter that you can be. If you want to do anything creatively that Ernest Holmes would call the inner propulsion, then why are you letting all the other identifications that tell you you're not capable of that to keep those things on a back burner? You only got 75 autumns, 75 summers, 75 Christmases. The moment to do that is not when something within channel 1 changes. It's the moment that you decide to come front row with your pen and pad and go, I'm listening. And if you're listening, something is going to say, you already know what to do. You already know what to do. Okay, then what am I supposed to do? Honor your channel 1 nature. Now hear me. Honoring it does not mean honor anything that is restrictive. There was a man who took a lot of LSD in the 70s, and he wrote a little book called The Lazy Man's Guide to Enlightenment. He had some trips, and they showed him some things, and it changed his life, and he did not set out to write a book for publishing. He set out to download everything that he experienced so that he could give it to his friends so his friends wouldn't hurt. And he made a boatload of copies, and he kept them in his truck, and he was in San Francisco, and he's passing those things out. And as those stories happen, it got published, and it's called The Lazy Man's Guide to Enlightenment. And I'm just going to tell you the whole premise right here. Anything that is restrictive, stop it. Anything that is expansive, follow it. If you do that one little thing, he would say, his name was Thaddeus. Who doesn't love a name like Thaddeus? Thaddeus says, if you set a barometer inside of you that goes, is this restrictive or is this expansive? If it's expansive, turn your attention fully to it and say, I'm paying attention. That's it. Now, here's the interesting part. Things that require you to dismantle from your loyalty and your identity are going to feel restrictive. And you've got to call upon your wisdom to determine whether or not you are choosing what's restrictive based on some egoic safety net that you want to keep things the same. But if you keep saying expansive, expansive, then it's going to go, let's walk over here. That's channel 1. Here's all the other channels. All the other channels. So what do we call this? In Doshan Buddhism, there is a classic text called resting in the nature of phenomenon. Resting in the nature of phenomenon. To rest means that you know without restriction that you are, and this is the best metaphor that they can come up with to describe the indescribable, you are sky. So, channel 1, all the other channels combined, including channel 1, over here, I am sky. Say that. I am sky. Jesus said, I am is what I am. Say that. I am is what I am. This is the reverberation of everything that exists within the multiplicity of all that is. I am sky. Sky then is not concerned or acting to prevent the phenomenon that happens in the sky on a daily basis. That means the sky is not freaking out when a cloud comes. The sky does not even register or notice a storm. It just remains resting in the phenomenon of whatever takes place within the realm of sky. That is what you are. That is what all of this is sky. To the degree that you and I begin to take notes over here and go, what am I supposed to do? It's you're supposed to incorporate this and this. You're supposed to rub your belly and pat your head at the same time. And those opposing rhythms are going to feel awkward, and you're going to go, screw this. I'm going to watch Netflix. But if you're serious, if your suffering is filled with grace, you're going to go, oh man, I don't know how many Christmases and autumns and summers I have. And the point of that is not to scare you, it's to show you impermanence of your channel 1 identity. Are we really going to go to the grave harboring a resentment? Or building and spending all of our spiritual and energetic coin trying to protect ourselves from something? Or are we going to go, okay, I'm going to start, and I'm going to be in this middle. I'm going to be in the middle path. And in the middle path, Terry Burrell gets to not only be the phenomenal actress that she is, but now she's going to be the phenomenal actress that every time she is doing her craft, she is sky. I think you already mastered that. Every time that Penelope Williams is exploring and sharing her gifts of musicality that she has been working and crafting on for decades, is now not just going to be solely isolated in the identity of Penelope Williams, Channel 1. It's going to be for the remainder of the time that I have left. I'm going to say, is this what I'm supposed to do? Restrictive or expansive? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what is required of you to really listen, restrictive or expansive? Not intellectually, but with every fiber of your being that will tell you, honestly, what is. And I'm not going to kid you and say that the expansive thing is like, oh, goody. It's like, oh, put the pictures on your puja, David. Why? Not for them, for me. For me. Because see, Science Mind Minister I regurgitated everything that my teachers told me for a long time. And I used to go, oh, I wish I could go back and apologize. And then I thought, no. Because if my spiritual mama, Louise Hay, told me, you must honor the entirety of your journey, then you have to honor the fact that you showed up with what you had at the time. What's the phrase? Do what you can, where you are, with what you have. If you and I wait till we're perfect to get it right before we do something, you will never do it. Do what you can with what you have, where you are in this moment means that, well, here's the way that I learned science of mind. And then one day there is a reckoning that happens. You probably don't even know this. And it was 2016, and it was at the second location, and I had an out-of-body experience that just scared the poo-poo out of me. And I was like, what is going on? And it was like, really, David? It was like the voice in the cave. It was another Sunday where another tragedy had happened, and I am talking, there's one power and one presence, and it was like, do you really believe that? Is that Robert talking into my headset? What was it? Do you really believe that? And then when it said, do you want to? I was like Japhon on the front row with my pad and paper, and I did say, more than anything, this is hard. And it said it doesn't have to be hard, not in the same way. And from that moment on, everything began to unravel in terms of my identity. And I wouldn't trade a second of it. And so, integration, I'm in the middle. I am Sky, as David, speaking to you today. I am Sky, as David, walking the aisles of Kroger, trying to find the thing that I have the coupon for. I am Sky, as David, trying to find where in the hell am I going to find this money to fund this thing for this disastrously appearing collapse in this educational component of the thing overseas where we're not there and blah, 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 blah. I am Sky. And I will just pick up the phone. I want you to hear me, that in none of that does it say, don't march. But it says, now go march as Sky. Nothing in there says that we are to bury our heads in the sand of all of the systemic issues of the pain and the suffering that are going on in Channel 1. In fact, what it's saying is, don't show up in Channel 1 just as Channel 1. Show up in Channel 1 now as Sky and go advocate. And that's what it means then to be the hands and the feet and the heart of that which knows far greater than what we know. And that is when your hands and your presence isn't spending a lot of time wasting it going, it's not good enough. It's not what they're doing. They didn't notice me. Wipe it clean, show up, just love. March, feed. Last thing, Ram Dass's guru, Maharaji. People would come and go, Maharaji, how do I become enlightened? How do I become enlightened? What do I need to do? How many mantras do I need to recite? What do I need to do? And he said, love people. Feed people. Serve people. And remember, that all is God. Love people, serve people, feed people, and remember that all is God. And he threw in there, and tell the truth. Tell the truth. Once more with me, I am sky. Now close your eyes and say, I am sky. Feel it for a moment. I am is what I am. Say it. What does that mean? There's sky calling right now. I am is what I am. And now, science of mind language. You ready? There is only one power and one presence. I call that power God. And today, in this beautiful month of December, I call it sky. And I am sky. As your name. And no matter how much you resist that, it's still true. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend David. Thank you so much. I just love this man. And I love all of you. And I'm so grateful that you're here to see him, to honor him. Welcome home. Welcome home. Now it's time for our grateful giving. And you make it possible for us to have guests like this. You make it possible for us to be here together in this wonderful space. And I am so grateful for that. I'm grateful for all that you do and all that you give. There's so many ways to give, as you can see on the screen. We also have receptacles here with envelopes if you have cash or check. If you electronically give like myself, thank you. But put your hands on your heart now. And I want you to know something with me. We are indeed one. And your gifts make this a reality. And I am blessed. We are blessed because of that. So join me now as I say this grateful giving. Let's say this in one voice together. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And remember, we are sky.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shall we rise and sing together our closing song? We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We see a world that works for everyone. Yes, we do. We see a world that works for everyone. 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 Join us downstairs and Miko Kubui. Get a hug from David. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
But I God alone can save we, and every prayer I pray, me know my God I hear it. So me count me blessing and me no follow we a sit. God help those who help themselves, yeah. So me get the drive and make Jaja steer it. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. The chain me break it. My God I'm here. I'm say more life, prosperity, it will go rise. God a plan everything, yeah, yeah. Jah me thank you for this. Losing battle them a fight, you will win, oh yeah. But me don't cry. Don't say your prayer, them a grant every wish. Me coulda look on me heart and say for heal. Me no question God, them can't contest it, G. I got them